This is a free training on how you can scale your business. And in the next 20 to 30 minutes, I'm going to share the exact strategies that could completely change the trajectory of your business growth and the systems that will get you to over 90,000 per month in the next 45 days. I'm giving away everything. You can run with it and implement it yourself. Or by the end of the video, I'm going to give you a no-brainer offer if you need more of a one-to-one help. Now, before we dive into the training, I want to share with you why most people stay stuck. They have a great offer, great case studies, but they rely too much on referrals and content. You can have a great offer, real case studies, and still be stuck in feast and famine. Content and referrals are an amazing way to get clients. They're warm, they're ready to buy, they know, like, and trust you, but it's not scalable. You can only squeeze so much before you hit a cap. If you want to consistently hit 90,000 months and beyond, you need more than that. Why? Because referrals, content, and organic growth feel like progress, but they're not. They're breadcrumbs. They come when they want, not when you need them. They don't scale, they don't compound. And most agency owners, coaches, and consultants, they're running off momentum that dies too soon. Real businesses aren't built on just doing more. They're built on engineered inputs that create predictable outputs. This approach moves you beyond the feast and famine cycle, and this is where you reach consistent and scalable growth you can control. This is a core theory that drives everything that we do. The simple concept behind how we consistently scale offers is the power of selling to cold traffic. This is important because content and referrals, like I said, they're great for getting clients. They already know, like, and trust you, but this method isn't scalable. It hits a ceiling. To consistently hit 90,000 pound months and beyond, you must tap into cold traffic. This one shift in perspective changes everything. However, it's not the same as selling to warm traffic versus cold traffic. See, when a lead comes from content or referrals, they spend weeks, sometimes months, watching your stuff, hearing about you, deciding if they want to work with you. But with cold traffic, they don't know you, they don't owe you. You've got 12 to 72 hours to build all that trust. And most offers completely break in that window. And if your system can't earn conviction in 72 hours or less, you won't scale. Most offers fail to scale not because the ads don't work, but because they were never built to work with cold traffic. If you want to build an offer and systems that would attract cold traffic, you will get both cold and warm traffic. You're simply tapping into a bigger market. This is where you're no longer stuck in that feast and famine cycle. Now, here are the big four deadly gaps, and I will cover each section and guide you through how to overcome it. Number one, your offer isn't cold friendly. If your offer sounds like any other offer in your niche, it's not attractive for the cold market. Number two, there is no scalable distribution channel. You lack a consistent, replicable way to reach a broad audience of new cold leads. Number three, you don't have a well-engineered pre-call process. There is no structured system to rapidly build trust and conviction on the 12 to 72-hour window with prospects who don't know you and don't trust you. And number four, your scripts don't adapt. Your sales conversations aren't flexible enough to adapt to every single path possible, so you get lost in your sales call. So no, it's not that ads don't work, it's that you are missing the entire system that make ads work. It's a complete system to turn new cold leads into high-paying customers. You want to know what the top operators are doing? Brooke Hiddink run pre-call gamma docs, training funnels, and layered email sequence, and he's doing 5 million per month. Daniel Fazio, same thing. Jordan Lee, Tech Nguyen. There's one thing all of these $1 million a month businesses do. They operate using the same core system, a complete journey that turns cold leads into laydown sales. Now, these are the four levels of scale you need to consistently hit 90,000 pound months. Offer that converts cold traffic, scalable distribution channel, engineered pre-called ecosystem, and adaptive sales framework. Now, let's get into each level. Level one, offer that's cold friendly. If your offer can get a total stranger to pause and say, that might be for me, it's not cold friendly. If your offer doesn't speak to a raw problem with a clear, low friction solution, it dies before it even gets clicked. Most offers are written for people who already get it. They assume familiarity, trust, and belief. But cold leads don't give you that. They don't care how long you've been in business or how many testimonials you have. A cold, friendly offer isn't about hype or flashy promises. It's about clarity. It answers one key question from a stranger's perspective. Do I believe this can help someone like me without needing to learn a whole new religion? If the answer is maybe, you've lost. For example, instead of comprehensive SEO services, a cold-friendly offer might be guaranteed first-page Google rankings in 90 days for SaaS companies. We reframe offers so they pass the test instantly. We analyze your unique mechanism and simplify the transformation into digestible components. We strip jargon and lead with language that makes a complete outsider feel invited, not confused. For instance, we transform a vague business coaching offer into a precise system for agency owners to generate 20 plus qualified sales calls per week through paid ads. Our structure is built around what we call the belief simplicity, a principle that makes an offer legible in 3 seconds, relevant in 5, and trusted in 15. You've probably felt this. Your offer works great when people who already know you and trust you get it. But cold traffic doesn't get it. They don't read long captions. They don't care about nuance. So you keep trying new hooks, new ads, new promises, and nothing sticks. What you actually need is a repackaged version of the value you already deliver, one that passes the cold test, where it feels possible. Your offer must convey a tangible, achievable outcome, not just a vague promise. For example, guaranteed first page Google rankings in 90 days. It's far more possible than better SEO services. Number 2, it feels specific. It needs to target a precise pain point for a defined audience. Instead of business growth, we frame it as a system for agency owners to generate 20 plus qualified sales calls per week through paid ads. Number 3, it feels urgent. Your offer must address an immediate pressing problem they are actively experiencing. Something like stop chasing clients or eliminate client churn speaks directly to an urgent need. And number 4, it doesn't require background knowledge. A complete outsider should instantly grasp the value without needing to learn your industry's complexities. That's what we do. We don't change the core mechanism of your offer. We rewrite the wrapper so cold strangers become warm believers in seconds. Now let's go over the step-by-step process on how to transform a standard offer into one that performs brilliantly with cold traffic. You start with the base offer. I'll teach you how to launch a funnel. The problem with this is the vague outcomes, very educational focus, and there's no risk reversal. Now we add the tangible outcome. I'll teach you how to launch a funnel that closes 9K deals on autopilot. The improvement is that it is more specific and addresses more measurable results. Now we add risk reversal. I'll teach you how to launch a funnel that closes 9K deals on autopilot and you only pay me per result. See, the improvement is in the shifted risk from buyer to seller. And then you add a reframe delivery. Instead of I'll teach you, you say I'll install a funnel that closes 9K deals on autopilot and you only pay me per result. This adds a done for you element, an approach that increases certainty. And then you go down even further, which is to maximize outcome. I'll install a 400K per month funnel into your business and you only pay me per result. This adds an amplified potential return. Now, this is where you can take it to the next level. You add reciprocity. I'll install a 400K per month funnel and you only pay per result, but you must let us use your results in marketing. This gives further risk reduction with fair exchange. See how this takes us from an educational and vague proposition to one that's tangible, ROI backed, low risk, and irresistible? Precisely what the cold traffic wants. This is a cold friendly offer. If your offer doesn't work on cold traffic, it won't scale. Because real scale starts when strangers say yes. Now let's move on to lever number 2, scalable distribution channel. Most people confuse marketing effort with marketing control. They say, I post every day, we do a lot of outreach, our referrals are strong, but none of these scale with certainty. You can't predict when they come, and you can't control how much comes in. And if you don't have a reliable way to get your offer in front of new people, you don't have a growth system. Cold paid traffic gives you that control. When the offer and funnel are built for it, it lets you forecast growth, ramp up bookings up or down, and buy your way to new markets. And when paired with a cold-friendly offer and belief framing funnel, you don't just get volume, you get volume and speed. If you want predictable revenue, you need scalable paid distribution, where $1 in becomes $3 out. Scalable distribution means one thing. You can buy attention from your ideal buyer whenever you want. No begging for shout outs, no hoping the algorithm favors you, and no depending on viral moment. You need ad strategies designed for cold scalability. And that means belief engineered ad copy, platform specific assets like video, static, carousels, etc., budget allocation that scales with proof, and testing frameworks that identify the winners fast. When the inputs are scalable, your calendar becomes scalable. And here are some examples of our partners' ads that are crushing it right now. This ad has a $45 cost per book call. Why? Because it's a great cold friendly offer, and that's all that the ad is. The one at the top right, the cost per call is under $10. Again, it all stems from the offer. If you look at the bottom left, these are the winning ads that are under $50. We quickly identify winning ads and double down on that. And then if you look at the last one, all of them shows that it's less than $15 cost per result. Video ads and static ads both work as long as you have a cold friendly offer. And this is exactly how we help Sohail, who owns a 7-figure car dealership business, and he wanted to get into the info space, teaching people how to build and scale a car dealership business. And when he came to us, he had great client results, but his offer wasn't super clear to cold traffic. And he doesn't have a big warm audience. He was getting calls here and there, having inconsistent revenue, and charging them anything they want to pay, which is not scalable and profitable for his company. We came in and dialed in his offer using level 1 that we discussed about and started running retargeting ads and direct to calendar ads. And he now has consistent volume of leads in the calendar, charges a premium price, $10,000 for his program, and are scaling at a healthy rate. He went from a couple thousand in revenue to 90,000 revenue in 45 days with zero wasted ad spend. If you don't own your pipeline, you don't own your revenue. Scalable growth demands scalable distribution, and that starts with paid traffic. Now let's move to the third lever, engineered pre-call ecosystem. If your funnel doesn't frame belief, your sales call will be spent cleaning up confusion. Cold leads need a specific sequence to go from who is this to I trust this. That transition doesn't happen on the call. It happens before the call. Your funnel isn't just a path to booking. It's the engine that builds emotional and logical momentum before the rep ever shows up. We call this a pre-call ecosystem, and most funnels don't have it. They go straight from ad to calendar with no warmth, no context, no prep. You need to insert a structured belief framing layer between when they book a call to when the call happens. A VSL that explains the model, a full pre-call asset and resource docs that reframe old beliefs, educate them on your model, answer FAQs, pre-handle objections, and presenting case studies. Email and SMS sequence, not just for reminders, but to reinforce authority and attention, and qualifying steps that make the lead feel seen and heard and not sold. By the time they show up to the call, they're not even wondering who or what this is. They're thinking, is this the right fit for me right now? They're pre-sold before they even hop on the call, and you no longer have to drag people across the line. Think about your last 10 calls. How many were spent just explaining what you do or trying to clarify how your process works? That's not selling, that's digging yourself out of a hole. And that's because your funnel is skipping the most important step, framing the buyer's mindset. The truth is, most cold leads are skeptical, but not because they're resistant. They're skeptical because your funnel didn't answer the real questions. Why this? Why now? And why me? We built pre-call flows that answer those questions before the call. That way, either you or your sales rep isn't starting from zero. They're starting from being aligned with the prospects. And here are some example of a complete pre-call resource page that turns cold audience into warm leads who are ready to buy your offer in less than 72 hours. The ones at the top are our own pre-call resources. You've probably seen it already. We do the same thing for our partners and our clients. If you look at the bottom, that's for a different offer, a personal branding offer. If you look here, there's so many information, all the resources that your prospect will need to like, know, and trust you before they hop on a call. From FAQs, case studies, belief shifting, explaining the whole process of that offer, the cost, the guarantee, everything you can think of. And these pre-call resources keeps on updating as we get more and more information and case studies and frequently asked questions and all that stuff. You know what? In fact, I'm going to start this screen and share with you a pre-call resource doc that we're using for Sohail, one of our top clients right now. This is a pre-call resource doc for Cardiolician University. If you look here, there's everything, all of the information from the full guide, how the process works. It's like never ending information. You want so many information in the pre-call resource doc until the prospects basically say, okay, that's enough. Like, I fully trust you. I like you. I know you. I believe in the process. Kind of like a case study, right? If you go into a funnel, you almost want too many case studies that people will eventually stop before they even finish going through the whole case study page. It's pretty much the same thing, but it covers everything, like the cost of not doing it, right? Like, how much are you losing? You know, the advantages, disadvantages, how soon can you make money, all of that stuff. And then you can go into the FAQs, all the FAQs. And then we have like a special offer to create urgency and all that stuff, which is actual scarcity, not just fake scarcity, by the way. But yeah, this is pretty much everything. Okay, so let me go back to the deck really quick. Okay, we are back. So that was a little bit of a hassle. But anyways, I want to share with you everything. I want to give you everything that you can get from this training. So basically, that's the whole pre-call asset, the whole pre-call ecosystem, along with the email and SMS sequence that we have and all that kind of stuff. But this is like the major thing. And this is exactly what we did with Wisdom Speaks, by the way. He was not able to monetize the audience that he had. He went from not being able to monetize the audience to getting 30K in 3 days cash collecting. They had a really solid offer. The proven results, they had the audience, but the audience aren't warm enough. They followed him because he was entertaining. The audience don't really know if he can help them or not, or how. Therefore, he couldn't monetize the audience. But then in 2 days, we built the entire stack. We created his whole pre-call ecosystem where we address how his offer works and how it can help them, belief shifting content, answer FAQs, and show his case studies, all of that in 2 days. And in 3 days after they launched, they cash collected 30,000 pounds. That's how quick things can change. Belief isn't built on the call. It's built before the call through education, logic, and emotional relevance. Okay, now we want to go into the fourth and the last lever, adaptive sales framework. Decision tree that adapts to the real calls, not scripts. Traditional scripts can't adapt to the unpredictability of a sales call. It's too rigid. It doesn't adapt to the conversation. It doesn't flow naturally. It leads you to losing momentum and get sidetracked on the call. We replace traditional scripts with what we call the decision tree framework, a dynamic logic path that gives you or your rep a map, not a monologue. And this doubles our clients' close rates. The decision tree framework is so powerful. I wish I had it when I first started as a closer 2 years ago. It would have brought me so much revenue for the business I work for. Because instead of asking questions just to get to the pitch, they're navigating real-time data to uncover objections, beliefs, and urgency, all while keeping control. If the lead pushes back, the tree gives the reframe. If they hesitate, it offers a layered belief shift. If they're nearly sold, it provides the activation path. This builds trust, not tension. And here's an example of the decision tree that we give to our clients. This increases close rates, shortens sales cycles, and remove pressure from yourself or your sales rep because they're not memorizing, they're being guided throughout the whole call. So the traditional script is linear, no flexibility, doesn't adapt to the call. If the prospect doesn't answer the question in a way you expected, you'll be lost. With the decision tree framework, there's more flexibility. It's adaptable to the conversation. It accounts for various answers the prospect might give you, and you're not lost in the call. And if you take a look here, as you can see in the picture here, there's like different ways the prospect can answer, and it leads to different paths. Let me show you my screen again, because I want to share with you the actual decision tree. Now, this is just a template. This is not personalized to a single offer yet, but every single client and partners that we work with, we customize the decision tree specific to their offer. So basically, you have this whole decision tree from discovery all the way to, objections and pitch. You insert your pitch here and all that stuff. You can zoom out, you can zoom in. We put notes here so you understand why you're asking those questions and what we're trying to achieve in specific sections. And then you can open this on your phone and then you can just put it in front of your laptop or something when you do the call. This will help tremendously when it comes to your sales call, unlike a script. So yeah, that's the whole framework and the decision tree that we use for the sales call that double the close rate. Because sales isn't about like straight linear lines. It's about structured adaptability. Now, here's an extra lever that's super important to keep the machine running. You have to consistently train, track data, update your system, and adapt to where the market is heading. This is what will ensure your growth is consistent and you maintain six-figure revenue months. It's not a one and done. It's an ecosystem that needs to keep adapting and growing as you get more data and predict where the market is heading. And this is where it all connects. If you implement all these in your business, you will hit six-figure months consistently and no longer stay stuck and stressed with inconsistent revenue. Now, here's a conclusion you must arrive at. If your business isn't engineered to convert cold leads into closed deals predictably, you're not running a business, you're running on hope. If your funnel doesn't frame belief pre-call, you're not selling, you're debating. If your sales process can't adapt live on the call, you're not converting, you're just surviving. And if you're not tracking and refining post-call, you're not compounding or growing your business, you're leaking. Once you replace hope with design, scripts with logic, and hard work with systemization, you will have a breakthrough in your business. This is why our clients scale quickly, because nothing is left to chance. You're either working a scalable machine or stuck as the machine. Your systems dictate your ceiling, and most people aren't failing because they're lazy. They're failing because they've never been handed a model that works from day one. Now, this is the system that will get you to that 90K per month and more. And once you understand and implement this, you'll get it. If you feel stuck around that 10 to 20K per month mark, I understand. I was there as well. My breakthrough came only after I changed my strategy and adopted this system. And the best part of this all is it's simple and can be integrated within 4 days. Remember Sohel? He's now at 140K and is aiming to hit 7 figures in his first year. So far, he spent around 11K on ads, and these are like the numbers pretty much. And Wisdom Speaks hit 181,000 pounds in revenue with 234,000 worth of deals from deposits or follow-ups that needed to be made. So there's a ton in the pipeline. And here are just some other example of business owners using our system. Omar Shafi cash collected 6,850. Another partner of ours having a fully booked calendar after using our system. This is Jacob, our CEO, sharing the stats with Sohel. 5K cash collected and 15,000 revenue with only $171 had spent when they first started working with us. And the list goes on and on. Okay. And here's the crucial part. The sooner you understand and implement what I'm explaining to you now, the sooner you can scale your offer. Whether you have a set of case studies and a B2B operation like Sohel, or you have a huge organic audience like Make Money Matt and Wisdom Speaks, or you're simply an agency owner or a B2B consultant in the trenches like where we were not so long ago. This is the model. This is the system that will finally get you to that 90,000 per month and beyond. And now you've seen it, you might be thinking, I've tried ads, they didn't work. Totally fair. But ads alone aren't a problem. Your funnels are. Most people run ads into chaos with no proper funnel structure. If your stack doesn't warm cold traffic, educate with logic, and pre-frame belief before the call, it won't convert. We don't run ads into chaos. We run ads into engineered belief so we can get leads who are educated and pre-framed before the call. You might also be thinking, but I'm already closing at 25%. Cool, but that's the floor. With our system, 40 to 60% is the standard. We don't let you sell through pressure. We're just selling through logic. Imagine what your revenue will look like if you double your close rate. Now, what if I don't want to rebuild everything? You don't have to. This system refines what's working and cut what doesn't. We plug it into our machine and cut everything else. Now, you might also be thinking, this is too much work on my end, or I'm still unsure how this will all play out with my offer. I want to introduce you to our end-to-end scaling system. The done for you and the done with you designed to get you to 90K per month and beyond in 45 days. Without relying on slow growth or broken funnels, we believe in alignment and partnership, hence you pay us after you close deals. And this is how it works. We implement all of the 5 levers we went over just now. We remove every guessing point. We build your end-to-end system from ad creatives to running and managing your ad account, funnels, and pre-call processes. We create your sales decision tree and pitch deck, and then we book calls for less than $50 and pre-sell them using assets like this. The same funnel and the same process you're going through right now. And then we design your pre-call ecosystem to turn cold traffic into lay-down sales. Now we redesign your sales script into decision tree that adapt to real conversations. so you can close 20% more of your calls. Then we train, track, and support your growth so you can consistently maintain six-figure revenue months. Now, let's make one thing clear here. If you're looking for a shortcut, a silver bullet, or a magic script, this is not for you. If you're addicted to content, hate the idea of selling, or want somebody else to build your business for you, this is not for you. This system works fast, but only if you're ready to move fast. This isn't about templates. It's not another 90-day watch these modules courses. We build, you run, and you close the deals. But if you bring excuses, ego, or victim mentality, it won't work. This is for operators, builders, owners, and not passengers who want somebody else to build and manage their whole business. However, this is for you if you're making 10 to 30K per month and ready to break through to the next level, and you've got a solid offer and real results, and you want fast, scale-ready infrastructure, and you're ready to go all in on your business. Now, this is something people don't often think about, the cost of delay. Ask yourself, if you're doing 20K per month and you want to hit 100K, every month you delay is costing you 80,000 pounds. That's not theory, that's math. And the longer you delay installing a real system, the longer you stay in maintenance mode. What you don't see is the compounding cost of one more month of doing it your way. That's another 80K missed, another 30 days closer to burnout. And worst of all, you start believing that scale isn't possible. That's the real cost. Imagine what your business could look like 45 days from today. 90,000 collected, consistent traffic, buyers who show up to calls. How many decisions would feel different with that kind of predictability? And if you're still here, that means you're serious about scaling your business, but you still just need a little bit more of a one-to-one help. And if that's you, click the link in the description down below and we can dive deeper into your business.